While the presidential race has been settled, it's a race to the finish line for the runoff in Georgia. At stake are 2 Senate seats and one lesser-known position that would directly impact millions of people statewide. A seat on the Public Service Commission, an agency of 5 elected officials which regulates utilities in Georgia. Rates have been going up, and people like Pam Floyd are struggling to keep up.
I was sleeping, it was really early that morning, and everything went quiet. And it woke me up, and I was like, something don't sound right. The sound just was like, not right. And I was like, why is the electric off? They said they wasn't gonna cut any electric.
Floyd is one of tens of thousands of Georgians who have had their utilities disconnected since July, when the federally mandated moratorium on evictions and cutoffs ended, which led the PSC to allow the Georgia Power Company to resume cutoffs.
I was trying to keep our head above water, but for the utilities going off, it just puts you in a bind. It just, what can you do?
Georgians are paying some of the highest power bills in the nation right now. We're at record level unemployment. People are debating whether or not to cover their medical expenses, rent, power bills. And as they make those trade-offs, they fall farther and further behind on their power bills and are at risk of shutoff.
Since last December, the PSC has voted to allow Georgia Power to raise its customer rates to pay for a delayed nuclear plant project, the cleanup of toxic leaks from coal ash ponds, and COVID costs. Georgia Power's parent company's earnings did go down 36% since last year, but it still recorded $2.73 billion in profit this year.
There's no relief in sight for communities around Georgia, and it's because this Public Service Commission is making these decisions that favor Georgia Power's profits and other utility profits over the needs of everyday Georgians. We don't have someone who's sitting in these rooms, sitting at the negotiating table, sticking up for the little guy. Someone who's saying, you know what, but what about the customer?
The balance of power could shift on January 5th.
My name is Daniel Blackman, and I am your Democratic nominee for the Public Service Commission.
If he wins, Daniel Blackman would be the only Democrat on the commission and the first elected Black person to the PSC in its 141-year history. He's in a runoff against 81-year-old Republican incumbent and 2-term Public Service Commissioner Lauren Bubba McDonald.
I'm on the Georgia Public Service Commission, and I'm not a social worker. I'm a businessman.
Georgia conservation voters revealed he receives 85% of campaign contributions from individuals and entities associated with Georgia Power.
The biggest challenges ahead for winning for us, number one, is down ballot momentum. These public service commissioners have done one thing very wrong. They haven't shown up. They are in Atlanta. We don't have town halls. We don't have forums. When utility bills are increased, there's a press release that 90% of folks don't read. So how do we get to know that there are 5 people that are making decisions on our behalf? I can't place an emphasis on that enough as being the people's commissioner, which is what my focus is going to be. My priority is going to be on ratepayers who have been stuck with a bill unfairly for the past 10 years.
For Get Out the Vote organizers like Nikki Owens, the obscurity of the PSC is a real challenge.
In most cases, people don't know what Public Service Commission is. People in poverty don't get the representation that they should get because of the lack of knowledge. That's like the biggest problem.
Owens says she gets multiple calls a day from people looking for help paying their bill. An assortment of nonprofits and churches step in to help, but it's sometimes not enough.
The highest I heard somebody like bill was $1,500. It was a situation here that I could feel that a lot of people could relate to. We seen a person that wanted to give up on life. When you don't have support, you're trying to tell your utility provider, I don't have the funds. Okay, so how can you help me? That put you at a breaking point. So this person went to the river and was willing to jump because, their back was against the wall. I cried. We want to let the community know that we are here for them. So we don't want them to feel that the next best choice is suicide or hurting yourself. It made me want to go harder,
We've got to stop celebrating mediocrity and push for the next level and push us towards progress that actually reaches people, that people can actually see and feel and touch. And I think people are fired up about that and ready to make a difference in January at the polls.